V'hinei ba'adam hatachtin l'moshel. Using an example from this lowest world to explain what it means that the Eibishter creates all the worlds with speech, and this world it creates with the gashmias, with the hevel, with the air of the letters of creation. Just imagine how little the Eibishter is giving this world. Using an example, Mishu Chacham Gadol. Imagine a person who's brilliant. Lahaskil niflois Chacham, to be creative in the wonders of Chacham. Now, this fellow who's being creative in the wonders of Chachma is coming up with ideas. When he thinks these ideas and when he speaks these ideas, he thinks and speaks with words. So there's two parts. There's the ideas and there's the words. Now, we also know that in the words themselves, there's the chitanias of the words and there's the pnimius of the words. Now just imagine this Chacham, who's so creative in the realm of ideas, where the words are one with the ideas, it's a very high level. And mitamol, suddenly, who's mitamtem sichli o machshavte, should contract all of his wisdom and all of his thought processes be'eis echad medibori, in one letter. Not in a speech, not in a sentence, not in a word, not in a letter.
It's impossible.
It's impossible to find constancy. You're not going to say, when you're speaking one letter, that this is a hemshech from his seichel. You're going to say it's stupid, it's nothing. But by the Eibishter it is this way. The whole creation is one letter. The chitzonius of the letter Hey, that's Kreit Elam Hazeh. The source of creation is not just a lot of words and a lot of letters. It's a lot of ideas, it's a lot of seichel, a lot of midas, understanding and feeling the spheres of Atzilus. The creation is only from the letters of those seichel. And the letters, even Elam Abriya is only created from the words. The emotions and the intelligence of Atzilus is hidden even in Elam Abriya. But it's at least created from the ruchnias of the Eisius. This word is created from the gashmias of the Eisius. Right? This is an unbelievable contraction. An unbelievable decline, understand to his unbelievable wisdom.
The yud also of the gashmis of the word? Or is it only the hey of the gashmis of the word?
The emes is the yud and the hey are inseparable. There's always a yud with the hey or the hey with the yud. The vart is in Elam Hazeh, the emphasis is primarily on the hey half of the letter as opposed to the yud half of the letter. An example for this would be what says in Sfarim, that they used to have kelim in the Beis HaMikdash. They were used for truma, so they had a letter taf on it. You saw Ma'aseh letter mem on it. Ma'aseh Sheni had a letter shin on it. So if you letter taf, so to a simple person the letter taf is a Rosh Tevis, the word truma. To a simpler person it's just a letter. To a chacham who knows that this taf is going to hint at all the halachas of truma and all the hadas of truma, so that taf has an enormous amount of meaning. Yet in the taf itself you don't see all that meaning, like a Rosh Tevis and so forth. Says the Rebbe Koch Mamash Adarach Mashal. By way of analogy, this is true also. V'yesem is Eliyan Ketz, and to a much greater extent, in an immeasurable way, this enlightens how the Eibishter creates the world. Ha yatzim tzum gadol yatzim varav. A contraction which is great and intense and mighty and awesome. Kasher, when bedvar Hashem shemayim nas, when the Eibishter creates the world through speech, that it happens b'sheshes me'bereshis, the 6 days of creation. That uberuach piv kol tzavam, that the creations of the physical universe are created only with the air, only with the guf, only with the hevel of the Eibishter's mouth. He eis hey shel shem havaya baruch hu, with the letter of the Eibishter's name, which is asa klila in terms of its spiritual substance. It's a light letter. It's just air itself. Meshikoso bihibaram, and it says in Chazal, based on the word bihibaram, that behei baram, that this word was created with the letter hey. Yud nev el mabah and behei nev el mazeh. And by the way, the letter hey in that word bihibaram is a small hey, which goes in the letter hey of Malchus of Atzilus. He, and also has to be the Eisius of Abraham, by the way. He Makeid Ates Ma'amares, which is the source of the 9 utterances, Shanim Shechu, which come Mimaimed Rishon Bereshis, from the first utterance, which is Bereshis, the Nami Maimed Hu, which is also a Maimed. He Bechinas Chachma, this idea of Chachma Nikareshis, which is called the first. Evidently, what the Rebbe is saying is that the 10 physical Ma'amares, the 10 Ma'amares with the physical creation, are rooted in this letter Hey. In other words, this Taka, 10 Ma'amares, which goes on higher levels, for Ruchniistic worlds. But the 10 Mamars, the physical world, are rooted in the letter Hey, beginning with the first Maimer, which is, I suppose, the Chochma of this Hey. In the Shur Sefer Tanya, it says that the letter, the seed of Chochma, and the letter Yud, is the source of the 10 Mamaras. Then it comes on into the letter Hey, and from the Hey you have the other 9 Mamaras. But I'm not sure how to understand this. In any case, this ends the explanation of why all the Ruchnius that were credited with the letter Yud and this was with the letter Hey. Remember, both the Yud and the Hey are not about the idea and the feeling, they're about the sounds. But the Yud is the Ruchnius of the sounds and the Hey is the Gashmius of the sounds. Because this word went through a great simcha. Now the Rebbe starts talking about why he's giving us this lecture on the ideas and letters, and then the Chomer of Tzura of letters. However, when the Eibishter created the world, this drawing down and descent to create such an unbelievable symptom, to create a world whose entire reality seems to reflect only the letter Hey, says the Rebbe, is believed. It's the way this world was created without any inspiration from below. You know why? Because there were simply no people to contribute to the Eibishter's creation. There was just the pure kindness of the Eibishter. The Eibishter created the world with kindness. Which is one of the reasons the word Behibarim is the same letters as the word Ba'avraham. Idea of Avraham is chesed. When the Eibishter created the world in the beginning, it was a pure act of kindness on Hashem's part. We were not partners of it. However, and now we get to tzedakah. Once Hashem made man, and the purpose of the creation of man is that we should become partners in Eibishter's creation. So then, kol is any arousal from above. To bring down the kindness from the Eibishter. And why would you want to bring down the kindness from the Eibishter? That the Eibishter should contract his kindness until it will create the letter Hey, which is the source of the 9 Mamoros, which create this physical world. Says the Rebbe, we have to contribute. So then, kol anytime there's going to be arousal from above, to bring down the chesed from the Eibishter, to be able to create the letter Hey. And the Mamoros, which are going to create the physical Asiyah, which are a reflection of the letter Hey, says the Rebbe, we got to do something to continue Hashem's kindness, to create a world whose whole reality is only the letter Hey. We have to do an act of kindness. In other words, to create a world with so much tzimtzum that is created with the letter Hey requires an unbelievable act of chesed on Hashem's part to make this reduction, and we do it through tzedakah. The tzedakah v'chesed sheYisrael leisen be'elam hazeh. The tzedakah and chesed, the righteousness, the justice, the charity, and the kindness that you didn't do in this world is the chesed which brings down the chesed of the Eibishter into Asiyah. Which is why it says in Gemara, a person says I'm only involved in Teda. Beli Gemach and doesn't want to do tzedakah v'chesed. Now Gemach is different than tzedakah because Gemach is lending people money even for rich people, to higher madrega. Tzedakah is for 4 people. Says the Chazal, afilu Teda ein lei, doesn't even have Teda because elasi with Teda ubi Gemach. He has to learn Teda and also give tzedakah. Kine, even though although the Hiraisa mechachma nafkes, the Eibishter's Teda comes from chachma, right? Which is a lot higher than this Hey. Ubeiraisa miskayim alma. And the world exists because of Teda. Ubeinin de la'a on board. Those who study the Teda, they give life to the whole world. Like the second line from the top. Ki b'diburam, through their words. Mamshichim, we bring down ha'aretz v'ashpois, lights and flow of lights. And nusachacha v'ashrois, and the manifestations of Chachma Ilah, the Eibishter's Chachma, which is Chachma Ilah, which is such a high madrege. Because the Yud and the Hey we're talking about are the Yud and the Hey of the Tzuras and the Chaymer Ha'oisius. Chachma Ilah is already the idea itself, which is Makeirat Teda, the source of Teda. The Bechinas, it should calm down. The Bechinas is Adibah to the level of the Eibishter's speech, Behem Nivra El, which the Eibishter created the world. So when we study Teda, we're reaching up to the Chachma Ilah and bringing down more of the light from Teda into the mouth of Hashem, which creates the world. This explains what the Chazal say, that when a Yid studies Teda, he's not the son of the Eibishter, but he's the builder of the world. Because when he studies Teda, he's bringing down more light from Chachma Ilah into the mouth of Hashem, that it has more, so to speak, to say in creating the worlds. So l'cha'ira, why do you have to have tzedakah? It's enough to learn Teda. Says the Alter Rebbe, Harei Amshachazu. The way this light comes down, when you learn Teda from Chachma Ilah into the Dibur of Malchus of Atzilus until it gives chayes to create the physical world, there's an enormous amount of it. It has to go down many, many levels. To bring down Teda into this world, through learning Teda, you have to have many, many levels. For this reason, you need the help of the Eibishter's kindness. Which comes down like water from a higher level to a lower level. Through a kindness on our part. And what is the kindness on our part? With righteousness or justice or charity and kindness. Down here. We bring down life and kindness. To give life to those who are lowly and crushed. And this act of kindness on our part affects what? That when a Yid then learns Torah, the Torah of the Yid, because of the kindness, should be contracted and come down into this world. So if you learn Torah, you create an enormous amount of light, but it's only up there. If you want the Torah and the light of that Torah to come into this world, you have to have a tzimtzum, And the Keli for this tzimtzum is chesed, like the Alter Rebbe says in Sharichet Namunah, when the Eibishter hides himself in order to create the world, it's not an act of concealment, it's an act of unbelievable kindness, because that allows the world to exist. So learning Torah is not enough, because you bring down a light, but it remains on high. If you want to come down into the physical world, you have to have kindness, which could cause the light of the Torah to be mitzumtzum and come down into this world. It says in the pasuk, it's not enough for a person to be wise, and he shouldn't boast about his wisdom, because it exists only in Atzilus. What should a person be praising himself with? The Eibush does kindness, and the reason the Eibush does kindness is because we do kindness. The Eibush does kindness brings down the Chaya Chochma, the life of Chochma of Atzilus down here. Otherwise, it's called Taked Eibish's Chochma, but believe Hamshachas Chaya Mimena, it doesn't bring down life from it down into this world. Chas v'shol. Like there's a pasuk. I saw the Chochma b'Chochmasei. I saw the Agib b'Gurasei. I saw the Osher b'Osher. Ki b'Zeis is halal. I saw the Haskell v'Yadei Oisi. Ki b'Eila Chafatz Ninum Adeshem. So Hashem, a person shouldn't boast with his Chochma. He shouldn't boast with his strength. He shouldn't boast with his wealth. Ki b'Zeis, with this alone. What is that? Knowing Hashem, because it's the Eibishter wants. And it speaks of the Oisah Staka v'Chesed. So how does Chassidus explain it? That Chocham, Gibber, and Osher are Madregas of Atzilus. And to live in Atzilus and have godliness is not a big deal. The big deal is Haskavidea Oisi to come down into this lower world and there. And this is what Staka accomplishes. So why did the Alter Rebbe go into this whole arichas about the letter Hey to bring out that to create this world requires a gewaldige tzimtzum, and the tzimtzum of the Eibush is an unbelievable act of chesed, and the keli for this tzimtzum is the act of chesed on our part. Or as in other places would say, when you fetch yourself to give tzedakah, it says in Tanya Perek Memvav, or Memtes, the Eibishter kvetches himself, Perek Memtes. He kvetches himself to make a lowly world, and this kvetching is not in Torah, this kvetching is in stuck. So learning Torah alone would bring down unbelievable lights in Atzilus, but you want it to come down into this world, you have to have stuck as well. Very good.